What if I told you that the biggest reason you're struggling in school has nothing to do with your intelligence? Think about it. You sit down with the best intentions, your notebook is open, your laptop is ready, you tell yourself, today I'm finally going to get serious. Then your phone vibrates, you check one notification, that turns into Instagram, then YouTube, then somehow you're watching a video about a guy building a cabin in the middle of nowhere. An hour disappears, and suddenly you're asking yourself, what's wrong with me? The truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not lazy, you're not stupid, and you definitely don't lack potential. The real problem is that almost nobody teaches students how the brain actually learns. Instead, we're told to study longer, reread the same textbook, highlight everything, pull all nighters, and hope for the best. But those methods don't just waste your time, they make learning harder. Imagine finishing your studying in half the time, remembering information for weeks, and walking into every exam feeling confident. Sounds impossible? It isn't. In this video, I'll show you 6 powerful science backed study techniques that can completely change the way you learn. And make sure you stay until the end because the final strategy is the one that separates average students from the top 1%. The first thing you need to understand is that your brain hates getting started. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain is designed to conserve energy. The moment you tell yourself, I have to study for 4 hours, your brain immediately starts looking for an escape. Suddenly, your room needs cleaning. Your phone becomes fascinating, and even doing laundry sounds exciting. So here's a simple trick. Instead of committing to hours, commit to just 15 minutes. That's it. No pressure, no stress, just 15 minutes. Once you begin, your brain naturally wants to continue. Starting is always the hardest part. Most students don't fail because studying is difficult, they fail because they never truly begin. Now, here's something the smartest students do differently. They don't just read information, they teach it. There's a famous idea that says if you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it well enough. So, after learning a topic, close your notebook and pretend you're teaching it to a 10-year-old. Use simple words. Avoid complicated definitions. The moment you struggle to explain something, you found the exact part you need to review. Every time you simplify an idea, your understanding becomes deeper. That's how real learning happens. Another huge mistake students make is reading the same notes over and over again. It feels productive, but it's actually one of the least effective ways to remember information. Your brain recognizes the words, so it tricks you into thinking you've learned them. But recognizing something isn't the same as remembering it. Instead of rereading, close your book and challenge yourself. Write down everything you remember without looking. Ask yourself questions, use flashcards, force your brain to retrieve the information from memory. Every successful recall strengthens the connection inside your brain, making it much easier to remember during an exam. Have you ever noticed how focused you become the night before a big test? That's because deadlines create urgency, and urgency creates focus. The good news is you don't have to wait until the last minute. Create your own deadline by setting a timer for 25 or 30 minutes. During that time, remove every distraction and study with complete focus. When the timer ends, take a short 5-minute break. Walk around, stretch, drink some water, then come back for another round. These short, intense study sessions are far more effective than sitting at your desk for hours while constantly checking your phone. Here's another secret that can save you countless hours. Not everything you study is equally important. Most exams are built around a small number of key concepts. This is known as the 80-20 rule, where around 80% of your results come from mastering the most important 20% of the material. Before opening your textbook, ask yourself which topics appear most often in past exams, which concepts your teacher repeats, and which chapters connect to everything else. Master those first. Smart students don't study everything, they study what matters most. Finally, here's the study secret almost nobody talks about. Learning doesn't actually end when you close your notebook. Your brain continues working while you sleep. During deep sleep, it organizes memories, strengthens important information, and moves what you've learned into long term storage. That's why staying awake all night before an exam is one of the worst things you can do. Getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep isn't wasting time, it's part of studying. And there's one more thing your brain loves: movement. Even a 20-minute walk improves blood flow, increases focus, reduces stress, and helps you remember more. Sleep and exercise aren't optional if you want your brain to perform at its best. They're the ultimate study hacks that cost absolutely nothing. So let's put everything together. Start small to overcome procrastination. Teach what you learn instead of just reading it. Test yourself instead of rereading notes. Use short focus sprints with a timer. Prioritize the topics that matter most, and never underestimate the power of sleep and exercise. These habits may seem simple, but together they can completely transform the way you learn. Remember, knowledge alone doesn't change your life, action does. So don't just finish this video and move on. Pick one of these strategies and use it today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.